Hello, hello, and welcome to the CTB show. Today is October 6th, 2021. The Dow, I don't know. The weather, man. RIP Club Buns, sad. Welcome to the show. My name is Evan the Mayor. That is Ryan the Levy.
As a special gift to the YouTube watchers, I just want everybody to see that I'm growing a mustache for Halloween, and it is in a very creepy place right now.
Yeah. Ryan the Levy, creepy guy. Title of the episode. That is Casey the Kasem.
I'm stoic, but make jokes sometimes.
I don't know what that is. Is that Ted Lasso?
The new rule of the show, Brian. We have to assume that it is. And joining us sooner rather than later, it's Joe Giordano, America's photographer. I upgraded you from Baltimore's photographer to America's photographer.
Cheers.
All right, what are you enjoying there, Joe?
A Dalmore 12-year single malt in a vintage Baltimore Colts NFL
Tumbler.
glass.
Nice.
Tumbler from available only at Shell Gasoline in 1976.
Nice.
Very nice. We are here today with Joe to talk about a new book that he has put out with some other collaborators. It is entitled Back of House. My virtual background consists of 2 photos from the book. It is a lovely collection of local recipes, restaurateur essays, etc., etc. So we're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about some more spooky movies. I don't know if you mind, Joe, but you seem like a spooky
I hate horror movies.
Oh, maybe we should end the show then.
Before we get too deep and finish up.
Okay, I was going to say, and then maybe talk about Facebook shutting down for 6 hours and the world imploded.
Really? We need to talk about that. Like, come on.
Well, it's mostly I want to talk about people's reactions to it.
My reaction was thank God, and then I immediately started a Discord channel for this podcast, which I will be tweaking and building up. And got to diversify, man. Got to get off that Facebook.
Just to show you how much I hate horror. This was my self-portrait in middle school. No,
is that you as Freddie?
Yes, it's my self-portrait for my photo class in middle school.
I just instantly recognized the hat, but very little else because there's a lot of glare.
So yeah, I'm a huge horror fan.
But wait, this is exactly what it. Speaking of young pictures of Joe, you posted some pictures on the aforementioned Facebook the other day of yourself as a young man, and good God, y'all, you're hot. I mean, you're a silver fox now. But
I'm in the Nick Nolte drunk stage now. So,
but you're not on oxygen just yet.
Not yet. So I'm vaccinated.
But those were fun pictures. I like seeing you in like the army jacket as a young buck, raring to get out there, take some pictures. Where were you in Europe? Where were you?
Yeah, that was the Prague years of the biography. That was the 5 years as a journalist and living in Central Europe.
Who will portray you in those years in the film?
Well, that's what we were just talking about.
Right.
Me and my agent.
Good job.
Dirty work era, Artie Lang.
All right, so let's get to it. This cookbook, Back of House, I enjoy it. 100% of the proceeds are going to the Baltimore Restaurant Relief Fund, as founded by Dave Seal, a former guest on this show, and the blue beard guy. What's that guy's name? He has a Pinch Dumplings up in Mount Vernon.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Vernon Marketplace. Yeah. I had a very strange interaction last night because somebody had posted a picture of a sandwich that he had posted on Instagram, and I for some reason thought it was just some random influencer person, and I was like, I wonder what this person does for an actual living. And then somebody was like, yeah, idiot, it's that guy. He has this dumpling shop and runs this nonprofit and has all these outreach programs and this and that and the other. And I was like, oops, I'm out of the loop. Wah, wah. But yeah, had to mention to him, I was like, oh, I'm familiar with your work and with Dave, and we're going to be talking about Back of House tomorrow on the podcast. So there we go.
Yeah, he's been on Netflix. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Chino's, he's great. His photos are great. I mean, honestly, of all like the Instagram food photos I see, his make me the most hungry. So
Yeah,
I think he
he's
does
an
a good
expert
job.
at holding a sandwich like perfectly so that you can see all the details.
Yeah, I mean, but you try doing that, like
I
getting the
know.
light right and getting the photos right is really hard. It's very difficult. It's not an easy thing to do, and he nails it. I mean, like there's like I went to buy a soft crab sandwich based on a photo. I've never done that before.
Where
You
where
know,
from?
I was like local oyster,
Okay.
but I got there and the sandwich was expensive, and I my credit rating wasn't high enough. I couldn't take a loan out, so
Yeah,
yeah.
you failed the pre-application
You
process
I
for the
got a
lost.
sandwich
bag of
thing.
Utz. I got a bag of Utz, and I got the oyster stout, and that was really good.
Oh, very good.
So,
But all of the photos in this book are from you over what
yes.
period of time?
So mostly over. It's so weird. Like a television station, which I still think is going to do something on the book, filmed me shooting, and we were trying to find the footage, and the reporter was like, "When was that?" I'm like, "I think it was about a month or two ago," and it was freaking April, and I was like, "What?" So it was like all spring, in the spring and early summer. So it was before a lot of it was shot before people were back indoor dining,
Okay.
and none of this was staged. So this was when people when these are actually people working. None of this was like, hey, can you open up so I can take some photos? This was people in working,
Yeah, I mean
being
that's
very accommodating.
yeah. I was going to
Being
say it's
very,
very apparent of the candid nature, yet gritty of these
yeah,
photos. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
Um, I was also pleased that most of the recipes. I mean, it comes from basically a wide swath of Baltimore restaurants
Yep.
and non-restaurateurs, which friend of the show John Hauser has a crab cake recipe in that book.
How did you guys decide who would be in the book?
Excellent question. Well, we
Thanks.
first decided who we didn't want in the book. You know,
You
Does it
didn't ask.
rhyme
You
with
didn't ask
Malik
us.
Smith?
well, it was based on a Greek myth of one of the Titans, the one who shrugged. But yeah, that wasn't happening. No, really, we didn't want any big groups in, right? We didn't want any wolves. We didn't
Yeah,
want
I
any
said Cindy Wolf
Titans.
isn't in there, right?
We wanted indie restaurants. We wanted restaurants that were really represented, like you, as a good word you used, Evan, like swath of the city, like Nihal and Cucina Luchadores and Mira's Kitchen, ones that don't get the spotlight a lot as much as a lot of these other bigger restaurants do. We wanted to show like the smaller restaurants really working through COVID. So Jess Mayhew, who was the editor, she's the editor at Thrillist. Her and I just came up with a list. She's very well connected with a lot of the restaurant scene, having been at Baltimore Magazine. Yeah, we just reached out to as many as we could. One I insisted on, like Land of Kush has a vegan crab cake recipe. We wanted to make sure everybody was represented. We have a non-alcoholic cocktail. Non-binary bartenders. We wanted to make it as the different kind of Baltimore cookbook. The
Yeah,
original title was going to be No Fucking Flamingos. Right?
that should be the title of this episode, I think.
Yeah.
But I holding just the experience of holding a literal cookbook in your hand and reading names that you've heard of before and people we've interviewed before on this podcast is very fun. And I think as a proof of concept, I want to see a much bigger version with glossy photos and all that crap. Back of House Volume 2, but in color, technical.
Well, yeah. I mean, we didn't want color, right? I mean, that's the whole point of this book.
Right.
Our designer, Jen Tidings, who owns Patterson Perk, right? So she's also part of the food service industry. So she was our designer. Her and I, talked about the layout of it. My intention from the very beginning was to do a black and white cookbook.
Okay.
Right. And the reason being is that I compare a shooting like this to, like, you guys seen The Wizard of Oz, right?
Never heard it.
Okay.
Well,
So it's this indie film shot in the 30s, and it's very hard to find. I mean, you have to Google it, but you should really check it out. Anyway, so The Wizard of Oz is divided up in two parts, right? So the beginning part, when they're back in Kansas, is all filmed in black and white, right? And she gets to Oz, it's all in Technicolor. It's just to give,
if you say so.
right? Yeah, just believe me. Just believe me. All right. And then there's the Civil War happens, and then no, but so I wanted to really show the work of the restaurant, and when the food goes out, like, that's when the color happens, right? That's when the influencers take the pictures and everything's plated up, everything looks nice, and it's the color part. But the black and white part is like the steam and the smoke and this, people like banging pots around and things like that. That's why the book is in black and white.
And that's what
yes, Brian, go ahead.
Okay, well, it's gonna be a fucking compliment to you. That's what struck me about it, is that it's a Joe Giordano book. I'm real pleased to have We Used to Live at Night on my bookshelf, and I've been to see your pictures of the steel industry and stuff. It's all black and white stuff, and it's all got a certain eye to it, and I could really see that in the pictures in the book. And that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's life, man.
No, it was a lot of fun to look at. I picked out a certain number of recipes that I want to try.
Good. I really want people to try them. I mean, I'm curious to know what people, we wanted to get recipes, that are accessible to, like, home cooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you don't have to go to, like, and get, I don't think I have to go back and look at it, but like, one thing I hate about the New York Times, like, recipe thing is, like, there's always one ingredient that you have to go to, not a Parbat in Tibet to climb this flour, right, to make this recipe. So I think that with these, we wanted to make it as accessible. And speaking of accessible, like, like Jen and her layout, her design, if you notice, the print is white on black and not black on white. So it's more accessible for people who maybe have impaired eyesight, or she really thought about this in putting it out there. And I like the fact, we picked the size, because it was benefiting the restaurant fund, and we decided, I spoke to a publisher in Chicago who was going to do it, but then the problem is you get a middle third party in there, and then they start taking their cut, which they're going to print it, they're going to take their cut, right? We were going to, like, quote unquote self-publish it, but then we would have had to set up a 501c3. Forget that, like,
right.
So I got in touch with Blurb, which is a print on demand. People who don't know who's listening, is a print on demand service. And we managed to hook up the restaurant fund's PayPal to the Blurb account. So when you buy the book, the money goes right into the PayPal account. We don't see anything. It goes right into the account of the restaurant fund. And as of I checked, well, Jen Tiding set it up. So she sent me a report, sent Dave a report. We raised close to $10,000 so far.
Damn, that's impressive.
Yeah, we sold in 10 days. We sold about 200 and some copies already.
Cool. And you'll probably sell 2 or 3 more after this podcast.
I cannot wait to get that extra $50. And but speaking of the price point, when I got in touch with Jess, I really wanted to do something to help the restaurant community out. And, like, having, like, an art sale or a print sale, that really doesn't do much in the scheme of things, right? So when I got in contact with Jess, I'm like, hey, I really want to do a cookbook. And she was like, I'm in. So we really thought it was the best way to, really kind of give a boost to people who might need it, with the restaurant fund. And there's no limit. So this isn't a limited edition. This is going to be up in Blurb forever. So people can just find it.
Yeah, the whole thing is print on demand, right? You don't have, like, 10,000 books sitting in your...
No, exactly. Well, that's the thing, right? So we don't have to go to a publisher. We don't have to do any of that. Like, we didn't have to order 500 out of our own money. Just Blurb handles it. you know, and because it's Baltimore, you know, it's black and white, and I kind of like that. It's kind of an old school, almost zine feel to it. Like if you got a copy of the book and you get it, right? It's like an old school zine feel, and I hope that, you know, that it's $50, which is not cheap, and it's not cheap because it's to benefit the restaurant fund, right?
Right.
It's like you're not getting, you know, you're not getting a coffee table book for $50. You're contributing to the restaurant fund and getting a cookbook with it. You know what I mean?
Free cookbook with donation.
Yeah, of $50. Because Blurb doesn't take that much off the top. You know, and if we did a hardback book, if we did anything bigger, you know, the bigger the book we did, the less the fund would get.
Right.
So
Or the more expensive
they're
the
getting
book
the
gets.
maximum. What's that?
Or the more expensive the book gets.
That's what I mean, right? The more expensive, the bigger the book is, the more Blurb gets expensive, and we have to mark it up even higher. So we did this way, and you can put it in your pocket, you can put it in your kitchen. You know what I mean? It's not some precious item where it's got to go on a book. You know, you can carry it, make notes in it, rip it out, whatever. You know,
You're gonna use it, basically.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna use it.
Yeah. We hope so. You know, we hope so.
Do you have?
What's funny is start. Go ahead, Casey.
I was like, do you have a favorite recipe?
Everybody asked that. And I said Hauser's crab cakes. I haven't tried them yet. I mean, I just saw the book last week for the first time. We ordered before we ordered a bulk set of 10 of them. So I haven't really been able to go through all the recipes, but Hauser's crab cakes look pretty yummy.
Yeah, he's honed that recipe for quite some time, from what I understand.
Yeah,
but
one of the recipes home loan approved, I'll get some crab meat and make it. So.
Yeah, one of the recipes that jumped out to me because it was just like, oh, that's a strange pick, was from Hirsch's, a recipe for ricotta cheese. It's like,
right. I mean,
I've just never ever thought about making it myself, but now I totally want to.
Make your stuffed shells next level.
There you go.
That's not a bad idea.
Yep.
Yeah, the one that jumped out to me was the Blackened Rockfish Reuben.
Yes.
Yeah, that just seemed kind of like, it just seemed different, unique.
Yeah. So that's a Johnson. So that recipe, you know, they found it I to B's, and that's probably my favorite one. If I can get a hold of some rockfish.
Yeah. Gonna have to catch it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But that because I love rockfish. Like we went to this place called Old Salty's down in Dorchester County, like way on the tip of Maryland on the Eastern Shore, and we got this stuffed rockfish crab imperial. Like I'll send you. I'll message you guys a photo of it. There's no seafood shortage down on the Eastern Shore. That's a Baltimore thing.
Right.
Our server's father's a waterman. And she was like, you know, in that Eastern Shore accent that I'm not even going to try to do, but you know, they don't understand what the problem is up here. Because we got two platters, soft shell crab, crab imperial, stuffed rockfish, another smaller crab, like a sample plate crab imperial, rockfish, another rockfish, and then clam for like $90. But it was like up here, that's like a claw. You get a claw for $90.
We talked about that aforementioned $36 crab leg at Watershed.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I don't even know where. Yeah. Oh, that's the place that took over Cross Street, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I was just over that way today, and the area surrounding the Cross Street food court, like there are like 5 new places opening. In fact, I was having lunch with Sansessa, and we could not find a place to fucking sit and have lunch. It took us 15-20 minutes, and we finally just settled on Mother's because it was, you know, I don't know what's going on, but
I took Jess to Steve's lunch the other day.
I love Steve's lunch.
You know, it's pretty much the only place I'll eat. You know, I'll eat any place that isn't, you know, the end of it. And then I'm like, oh, let's just walk the market. I'll show you, you know, what things used to be. And then we hit this fucking glass wall.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're not going in there.
Yeah,
and like,
so like they're basically Death Eaters, and they've taken the market and sucked the soul out of that market.
Right. I mean,
Well,
it's,
you know what?
It's become this like, you know what? It's become that the house in Beetlejuice, like after they moved in, right?
But at
Like,
the same time, I can't give
Really
too much
bad.
shit to any of. I can't give too much shit to any like the small businesses that have moved into these stalls. I just don't like the way the place looks anymore. You know, I liked it when it was grimy.
yeah, grimy,
but
a little bit lived in, and for as often as people complained about like the rat presence or something like that, I just have absolutely no
Well,
interest.
no, that's what I mean. And I don't mean the stalls. I mean whatever the restaurant is at the end of the, because I mean
Right.
we get
Yeah.
our pho. There's that great pho place that's there.
Yes,
right.
Bubs.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, pho.
I-
Right.
I-
But I mean, no, but we eat there. So I'm not being a hypocrite. I whatever that restaurant is right behind that glass wall, you know, where
it's just
horrible.
such a fucking
It's
bummer.
horrible.
It's a
You know,
bummer.
it's horrible. And I'm worried that that's going to happen in Lexington Market. Like I'm really worried that our next market is just going to be this soulless gray slab of like corporate bullshit. You know?
Yeah, they keep promising that it's like, oh, it's going to be entirely run by Black-owned businesses and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, we've heard so much of this bullshit before. Like, I just cringe at the thought of it becoming like just a huge food court, like another one.
I've
Especially
seen
in
Tombstone's more vibrant than the end of Cross Street Market.
yes, but to me, even the Mount Vernon Marketplace is a food court. They're all just food courts, and it's like, especially if the redux of Lexington Market is in an area that would be better served getting fresh produce, things like that, which if that option ceases to exist, it's going to suck.
But the thing with Mount Vernon Marketplace though is that I mean I work near there, so we go there either for lunch or something. I don't know if it's because they kept the floor or the layout. It's not as gray and soulless as what
Right.
the cross street has become. You know what I mean? I keep on my finger on why. Maybe
think
it's the
it's-
big windows let a lot of light in. You know?
Yeah,
I
and
understand.
Go ahead.
Well, I was saying I understand because I feel the same way about our house. There's still like an industrial feel to
Well,
like
our
our
house
house. You know, I mean, our house sucks only because of its execution, but I still like the way it
Yeah.
looks.
I think also part of it is, and I could be remembering this wrong, but the floor at Mount Vernon Marketplace is kind of shiny.
Well, I think it's still I think it's still the original floor.
Okay.
The thing with our house is like our house just needs a Maryland gift shop and then it'll be complete. You know, like
Well, I think as Harbor Place has taught us, that won't sustain anything.
no. But
Yeah,
I will
mean,
say this
Harbor
about
Place
our
only
house,
lasted
though.
40 years, so whatever.
Bob from Max's just took over took over the bar at our house, and the bar has really turned around. Like,
Oh, wow.
he's really
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Bob
I
does a
think
great
the
job.
weather is
I will
the
stand
weather
for
is
Bob,
nice for
definitely.
our house.
I'll stand for Bob.
Good.
No, our house is fine. I mean, I like the sushi over there. I'm just being facetious. I mean, all of our, you know, the city needs more, but even okay, so even our house is better than when you walk to because what used to be at Cross Street, you know, was that great, you know, you get a big thing of beer and you watch the game or whatever. And now it's like when the Meatlands, like it's a Beetlejuice house, right? Like it went from being this like LL Bean lived in place to like, you know, if you want to scare someone, Julia, do it with your sculpture, you know, like that kind of like that. Livia, sorry. If you want to scare someone, Livia, do it with your sculpture.
I will give credit to the other than Steve's Lunch, the Southside Burger Bar is nice because it's run by some, you know, some locals, and they have the right price point for a 32-ounce beer and good burgers. So
is that the sports bar, right? No, I'm not talking about everything before that glass wall, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about whatever the end of the bar, whatever the restaurant at the end of the market is, right?
Yeah.
I really don't know. I don't know.
It almost ruined the experience for me. Yeah, just like
I've never
just
been to the
keeping it
sports
straight,
bar.
and then all of a sudden, thing.
Yeah, I've never been to the sports bar. We go to Fubs. Fubs is a great, you know, pho place. So I'm not knocking the vendors. I'm just saying, like, it's just the soulless end of the bar. You know, what used to be there is no reflection of what's there now.
I think what's ultimately even more tragic about that particular establishment was that in the last go round of renovations for Cross Street Market, there was talk of having a rooftop bar that I guess would have been tied to Nick's Fish House or whatever, and it just didn't happen. And I was like, God damn it! If we had that like back in 2005, it would have been awesome. But now instead we've got this, and it's not awesome.
But But isn't there is there a rooftop bar there now?
Yes.
Isn't there a rooftop restaurant?
There is, and you have to go through a velvet rope to get in.
Like, it just hurts to
It's-
hear.
It has the same sort of ridiculous dress code that some of their other properties have, and it's like it's a seafood restaurant on top of a public market. I don't get that.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough bashing. Let's get into some celebrating
Oh, of what?
of a little thing I like to call the internet sensation.
Sleeping America?
Sweeping the nation. It's time for a shout
Oh,
out.
that's
What about the horror movie thing? Wait, sorry.
We'll do that after shout out.
yeah. We got a whole other half.
Oh,
show.
sorry.
We got
Okay,
we got a whole nother half of the show. All right, shout outs is
I have
first,
an
part-
ethical dilemma.
Okay. It's the part of the show in which we take a break and give Matt props, aka shout outs to persons, places, and things that are giving us jollies and improving our quality of life. My shout out this week is to the upcoming Julius J. Fish Pepper Sauce. I have a logo. Yeah. I will be making it.
Oh, what's
and,
the logo?
I'll send it to you in chat. It's apparently the logo was made in the film Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. It is ready to go. It is literally
Is it a fish with a bowler hat?
that's exactly what it is with the mustache that I tacked on.
And is he smoking a cigar?
Yep.
Is he
Hello,
copyrighted?
it's
I don't know. This is going to be small
Hello,
batch
it's me,
private
Julius
sales only.
Fish
I would also like to give a shout out to our new Discord channel. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll probably invite people to hang out, just like in the fan zone on Facebook, which should be turned off for much more than 6 hours. Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Brian. Oh, sorry. I don't know.
I'm ready. I'm not ready yet. Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
I said it last week, but I'll say it again. Shout out to generous paternity leave. I have off Wednesdays for like a while now. So this is
Specifically
nice.
Wednesdays? Because
Yes.
you're on like actual leave.
Yeah. So, I had about 4 weeks off, and now I'm taking Wednesdays off for like, I don't know, something like 20 weeks. I forget how
Wow.
long it's going to be. It's a while. So
You
it's a
live
nice
in
little
France?
break.
How communist are you? Get back to work.
And shout out to the just taking really cool videos on your phone. I upgraded my phone and got to test out like slow-mo video and stuff like that. That was really cool.
That's fun.
Took the obligatory like slow-mo video of your kid on the swing. So, I feel like I'm a real parent now.
Cool.
Joseph, shout outs.
No, go ahead, Brian. You go next.
So we've hit a confluence of a couple different events. It's October, and I've hit a real reader's block. Like, I've just been reading like fucking on fire for like 2 straight years, and all of a sudden I can't get anything to stick. But as of today, I think I found it. And, Joe, I think this is something you'll be interested in. Shout out to this omnibus edition of Vampire Hunter D.
Ooh.
Not interested.
Okay, well, it is a Japanese, translation of Japanese horror books from the 80s. There were a couple of different anime films. It's like the only fucking anime I like is Vampire Hunter D. I'm pretty excited to dig into some,
Where can you
scary
watch
vampire
that?
books.
Is that on Crunchyroll? Like, where is that?
It's honestly, it's like you got to stick it into your Roku and see what pops up. Download
Vampire
whatever
Roku.
weird app.
Sorry.
It's Roku is the hardware that Casey likes.
That's
Yeah,
the
Vampire Hunter D.
suspicious
Also,
backmassager.
I will see your Vampire Hunter D, and I will raise you the Dylan Dog omnibus.
At the same time, Joe, I think you'd also be fascinated by these things I bought today. The 80s reprints of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing
They're
books.
going.
Put
Hold
them
on,
right
there
in front
you
of
go.
me.
Oh yeah, I actually our so my shout out will be to the library because part of it because the library has these and I got those out from the library. I had them
You can get them
for books.
You can get the modern reprints, but whenever I can
that's
find
there.
that shit from the 80s, I go for it.
Yeah, okay, Brian, and let's say so I have the originals in bagged and boarded, okay? I don't need your janky trade.
Bag and boarded.
Yeah, I don't have the issues. Don't have the singles.
Yeah, I have
Are
them
you
in my
going
long
to
box,
Comic-Con?
number 178 down the basement. Okay, bagged and boarded. I don't need your janky trades.
Oh shit! Is that what I should do? Should I number my long boxes? Oh, that's a good thought. Are you going to Comic-Con?
No,
Okay, well, I'll be there.
All right, we are
not
going
yet.
to
I'm
take
gonna get my
a
booster
whoa.
and I'll see. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not really actually on the hunt for anything this year. I got the most recent like Hellblazer trade. No, this is gonna dissolve. So Casey and Evan. So this is the scene. This is that scene in The Godfather, Evan, where Michael Corleone talks to the Irish cop. He's like, "We're gonna speak in our own language now." So Brian. Anyway, no, I don't know. I don't know about the indoor thing yet for Comic-Con. Considering our mayor's got COVID, so I don't know. I might get out and check out the cosplay. If I get an assignment, I'll get out. But there's nothing really I want. Yeah, I can't really think of any like collection right now that I want to get like the Who's Who omnibus, right? I want to get the Marvel omnibus. But I don't think. I mean, maybe some dealer will have that. I don't know. Those are the two things I really want now.
You'll text me if you go down.
Yeah. So I guess is my shout outs. My shout outs are to Baltimore's museums. Get back out there. They're open. Museum of Industry, Reginald Lewis Museum, Walters, BMA, Maryland Art
Blacks
Place.
and Wax.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, like things like more people are getting out there, and the museums are open again, and they really need people to go check stuff out. So my shout outs are going to be to our fantastic museums and galleries. Current Gallery. I'm going to Double Dagger show next week, shooting that Double Dagger reunion. So my shout outs are cultural. And also have one more shout out if it's okay.
Yeah,
please.
Okay, so Brian, you were incorrect by saying October. It's actually Rocktober. Hammerjacks is reopened. All right. We just left September. We're going into Rocktober.
September.
As Brian and I had a chance to tour the new Hammerjacks location. It is outdoors. It is open on Sundays for tailgate stuff. I thought it was cool. It's got a stage, the bars, the beers are like reasonably priced.
I think there's a real solid chance you can see me there this upcoming Monday for Monday Night Football.
Yeah, if I wasn't going to New York the next day, because Sunday is my birthday, Libra season, what up? So if I wasn't going to New York first thing in the morning on the Amtrak, I would probably be there. It's a night game, but maybe. I don't know. But definitely I will give a shout out to the new Hammerjacks.
Cool.
Excellent.
And one more shout out to the book, back of house. We will have links to methods for purchasing the book, as Casey is demonstrating on camera, in the show notes page. Thank you. All right. So what's the bumper, Brian?
You know what? I went looking for Nightmare Theater commercials, but I couldn't find any. We'll come up with something.
I'll find like a ghost host or something like that. A little
clip. Do the ghost host. Come on, ghost host.
Ghost host. All right, we'll right.
You used to scare the hell out of me, man.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll be right back.
He was the only friggin' like horror host. It wasn't some campy idiot, right?
That's true.
Like he wasn't like Gululi or that, he was
Svengoolie. I love Svengoolie.
No, but like this creepy old man in a house. It was like he was a ghost, and it used to scare the fuck out of me when I was little. I wanted to interview him at City Paper, but he died the year before I came on City Paper. I was so mad because I wanted to interview that guy.
Oh wow!
Wow. All right, we're gonna take a break now because I gotta pee.
Okay.
All right.
See ya. We'll see you when you get back. All right. Bye.
Bye. Garbage.
And we're back
with hot takes. Hot takes.
What? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to keep some of these hot takes leading into this. What was that? Yeah, Brian, go ahead. You got a moral quandary or something?
Okay. So knowing that we had this show tonight, I went and stopped at a local convenience store that also sells chicken, but the one close to me also sells beer, right?
Okay.
Yes, so between like yesterday and today, this convenience store has added self-checkouts, as so
Whoa.
many of them have been doing. It's a real pain in the ass. I hate them. I still need people to get me my smokes, and they're often off doing something else, and I just stand there
You know what
waiting
you
for a
should
person.
do,
anyway.
Brian? You should do. You should walk
Quit
over the
smoking.
counter and get your cigarettes yourself. For the
That'll go
self-checkout.
all
Only that
too.
was the option. If only that was the option. So today I go and get my beer, and they're like, "Yeah, just do it. Like we're testing it." So I scan my beer, and on the screen, up comes my 12-pack of Natty Boh. Up comes 2 tabs. One tab
Uh-oh.
says each. One tab says each _12. So I wasn't buying 12 packs of.
Individual Natty Bows.
So I hit each, and it rung
Oh.
up for
12 packs?
no, it rung up
12
for
individual beers?
$1.99.
Per
This
per
12,
bow.
no,
What?
no,
Oh, total.
$1.99.
Wait, didn't you scan the barcode? How did that happen?
Well, they're new. I have to think that there's some kinks to iron out.
Wow.
$1.99.
So you heard it here first. Go get those $1.99 12 packs.
Did you like
So
scan your ID?
Nothing. I didn't have to do shit, Casey.
Oh my god.
There are
Seems
ethical dilemmas
illegal.
all over this. So I scan my 2 other Bud Tall Boys that I also got, and I scanned my like I said, this is a store that sells chicken, and I got some chicken and Western fries, and I got my soda, and I paid my 5 cents for a bag.
Ugh.
And my 2 Bud Tall Boys, 12-pack of Natty Bows, 2-piece tendies, and a large cherry Coke all cost me $13.98.
Wow.
I walked out. I paid. I walked out. I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want to ruin it for myself. I guess my question is, am I the asshole?
Well, what would have taken you more time to try to remedy this situation, or just like take it as a win because they fucked up? Right.
Definitely the first thing.
Eh,
Definitely the first thing.
Yeah, having to go up to the counter and be like, "Excuse me, I don't think I was charged enough for these beers. Can we do this again, please?" Just be more careful next time.
Be more careful next time. You don't think I'm going back tomorrow?
I'm surprised you're not there right now.
I thought about it if I should go get like 3 more. And then I decided no.
You load up
That
the
would be
backseat of that
inappropriate.
car.
That would be inappropriate. I know what I did is morally wrong, but sometimes you get the fucking universal lottery.
Yeah,
I
I think the Pabst Brewing Company will be all right.
Are they still with
Is that
Pabst?
it?
I believe so. Yeah.
I was hold on. Oh. It's with Ball G. Heileman Brewing Company.
I thought so.
Whatever
I
that
don't think Pabst
means.
anymore.
What the hell is that? Ball G. Holloway?
Mhm.
Is it true that Natty Boh is brewed in like North Carolina, but also somewhere else, and the different batches
Raise
taste
up.
different?
Really?
That's a rumor I heard. Same reason that 10-ounce buds in Southern Maryland are recognizable in a blind taste test amongst the Southern Marylanders.
It's the water.
Yeah. It's the best water for 10-ounce buds.
So that was my ethical dilemma. Did I do a bad thing? I think I've settled. I think I settled it on a big meh.
Yeah, I would say if you do it more than twice, then you're kind of being a dick. But you basically just a bank error was made in your favor.
If I am able to do it twice, then I think more than twice, then I think they're the assholes who haven't figured it out yet.
Right. Yeah, that's on them, pretty much.
Yeah, and then like at the end of the night when they count the till and the dude gets fired because it's gonna be awesome.
The guy with
Oh,
disabilities.
Dummies.
No one's
Nah,
gonna.
I don't
Do you
think
think
it
someone's gonna
matters.
fire? I don't think it matters. Me neither. Like it's all gonna come. Like the till is going to come out correct, but they're going to see
Inventory.
computer error. The inventory is also going to come out correct.
No, because you checked each instead of the 12 pack.
No, that's insane. That is absolutely insane. This is look. I know everyone who works every shift there. I'll notice if someone goes missing. And if
You mean
someone,
the one guy that got shot?
what go Casey?
I just say like it's kind of ridiculous that it like it's basically like, okay, tell us what you're buying after you scan it instead of like, you know, having a different label for the 12 pack versus the individual.
I agree. I do not work there. I am under no obligation.
Maybe you should apply for a
protect
job.
that company.
Also, how does it work that
Well,
you were
to be
able
fair.
to scan your attendees? Because usually you have to buy them first, right? Or did you get like a little receipt
Well,
printed
no,
out and then you paid for it?
They give you the receipt and you
Okay.
flop it down.
All right, this is fascinating.
You know, I'm just
Brian,
saying.
you're a terrible person.
We all knew it to be true.
All right, let's get into some
I just
spooky
needed-
talk
I
and
just-
or another topic that does not involve Brian getting cheap booze.
Fleecing the working people of America, I believe is the phrase you were looking for.
Yeah, that's your life plan.
You watched a scary movie.
We've watched a few scary properties. Last week I mentioned Midnight Mass. Casey is about a halfway through. Joe, you've watched the entire program. So the guy's name, the director, Mike Flanagan, right? And everyone
Great picture.
Since everybody, since they want to claim Baltimore as ownership over, I didn't realize he's from Ellicott City, which is weird.
I think so. Hang on. Let me check real quick.
Google it. Google, you were right. Very unfortunately, I can't talk about the show that much because Casey hasn't seen the whole thing, but roller coaster ride of emotion and some horror elements. And there's a couple of twists and turns that I didn't see coming until at one point.
Okay, we're wrong. We're totally wrong. We're totally wrong. So he's actually from Salem, Massachusetts.
Nuh-uh.
He's a graduate of Towson State University.
Okay. Excellent film
that's
program.
the connection. Yeah,
I'm not.
I remember specifically there was a commercial for then Towson State University with the guy Clamp from Gremlins 2 who was saying, yes, I was
John Glover.
Yeah, he was doing a commercial for Towson. What's up?
His wife is from Silver Spring. I
Okay.
knew there was a connection.
Oh, his wife. Okay, got it.
Katie Siegel's from Silver Spring. I knew there was like a southern outside of Baltimore connection.
So is she in every single one of his shows? Because
Yep.
I don't think I've seen the Blythe Manor one.
Yep, she's in every one.
My girlfriend's been watching Haunting of Hill House, and she said it was too scary, and I was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, Haunting of Hill House. That is definitely his scariest. Blind Manor's not. Blind Manor's is getting into the Midnight Mass heaviness.
Okay.
But Hill House is just balls out. And you know what? This is gonna be really weird. So after watching Hill House, I was like, I'm gonna get into this Flanagan guy. He took a mediocre franchise, Ouija.
Oh, did he really?
Yes, and the sequel to Ouija, The Origin of Evil, is a great, scary horror movie. It's
Is it really?
good, guys. No hyperbole.
This is the sequel to the 1986 Ouija movie?
No, this is like the 2000 Ouija.
Okay, because I know that as a quote franchise, the Ouija films have been around since like the early to mid 80s.
Yeah, no, it's a sequel. They gave him the sequel to the Ouija movie. It was like 2001 or something.
This was
they
like a
also did the
full-on
Oculus
Hasbro
movie.
production.
What's that?
Yeah, I guess that's technically true.
These Ouija movies like have the backing of Hasbro or Parker Brothers or whoever.
Yeah.
So
My favorite 7-Eleven in Baltimore invented the Ouija.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the one in Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
Are they going to give him was it a Battleship next?
The new Battleship franchise.
Candyland.
But, so he did a movie called Hush, which Easter egg it's about an author, and she's reading her book is called Midnight Mass that she published. Easter egg, and he did a movie called Oculus, about a mirror, which is great. He's a really good, and he did Doctor Sleep also.
What? Oh, I did not know that. I love that movie.
Yeah, he did Doctor Sleep. So he's a
Is
really
he the
good.
new James Wan?
No, because I think James Wan. I haven't seen *Malignant*, so I'm going to reserve judgment on James Wan right now until I see *Malignant*.
It's pretty zany.
Do you know the
No,
twist
Brian,
of
don't do
Malignant?
it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
If he says no, I'm not going to. I just want to know if he knows.
What?
Do you know the secret of *Malignant*? What the plot twist thingy is?
Well, no, because I'm going to watch it, dumbass.
Okay,
So
okay,
tell me what it is.
Oh,
Thank you for saying
well,
that.
the secret of
Because Brian
the
blatantly
secret of-
spoiled it last time.
the secret of Malignant is rude.
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 I have a feeling I know what it is because it was quasi spoiled in a comment that I read
Oh, I
online.
see.
Okay.
So I have a feeling that I know what's coming, but it's only on HBO for like 5 more days.
Oh, really?
So as I weigh canceling AT&T and the Nazis, I might want to just watch it before I clear the decks. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess because the majority of what we were speaking about regarding AT&T was pre coming back from break. Why don't we rehash that momentarily? Because we were just saying how like there is no attention span in the media anymore. I mean, we've got the Pandora Papers, which just dropped, and then this whole revelation about AT&T funding OAN, One American News Network.
That was like this afternoon, wasn't it? Like
Yeah,
that's like
whatever. It was
breaking.
so long ago, Casey. Who cares? Move on.
Yeah.
7 hours ago. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't
Facebook's
even
down for
see
6
that.
hours. People lose their shit, but this happens.
Reuters broke the story today. Like 90% of OAN is funded, and they quoted because it's in the court papers for this Dominion thing, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's where Reuters got the story from. These court filings, right? And like AT&T wanted their own Fox News. They hired this guy to create their own Fox News. Like,
But it's objectively far worse than Fox News. It is like lunatic shit when you watch.
Well, yeah, I know, because Fox News, it took a long time to become the Nazi Party, right? Like, it started off, it started off in the '80s, right? It took a long time to get here. Where OAN, they just like hit that body with steroids. They were just like,
All right,
now.
Can we find somebody worse than Tucker Carlson?
I said,
Yeah.
you know who's got great ideas? Marjorie
Hannity.
Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
Hannity,
Fiddler.
Hannity's a pussy. You guys don't even know. Like you see, and here's the problem with like Casey and Evan, and I bet Joe, you'll know these names. You don't even know about Michael Savage. You don't even know about Mark Levin.
Well, I do
Those are
because
the
you
guys
listen to
gotta
him in
be
your
listening.
car a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
because those are the guys you got to listen to
Right,
know
right.
just how fucking crazy this shit
You would know
has
what-
been. I
You
used
even
to
know what
run,
DMT is, bro? Yeah. I mean, you listen to Rogan, bro? Whatever.
I don't listen to Rogue, and I just
Bullshit,
can't bring
you're
myself to
lying.
do that. Oh, I don't. Evan loves.
He's just
Rogan.
asking questions,
No,
guys.
Joe,
I listened to the Alex Jones interview on Rogan, and I thought my brain was going to explode.
It was
Like,
it was
it
some
kinda
wild
starts off-
shit.
It starts off normal, and then all of a sudden he's talking about like space wizards and lizards and shit. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, the
Just code for
post-birth
Jews.
abortion shit and like
It's
harvesting
all
babies.
code.
for
It's all
organs.
code for Jew. It's all code for Jewish, right?
Right,
New
right.
York
right.
humor, code for Jewish, right?
Right.
It's- You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
oh, that shows us too New
But
York.
you and your New York humor, Brian.
I'm walking here. Oh, hey, I'm Jewish.
That was in the West Wing, right? That was an episode of the West Wing where he threw out that Southern delegation where she's like, "Oh, your New York humor," and Toby's like, "She means Jews." Mr.
Right.
President.
It's like the third episode. It's when Aaron Sorkin was just like, I'm gonna write my brain, and like it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I might start watching that again.
That's a good binge.
It's
Was,
so good.
Was Newsroom any good? Because I never watched that.
Awful.
Yeah.
But
Was
also,
What? Don't listen to Brian. Brian hates TV.
I
Sure he
watched
does.
every episode. Listen, I'll mainline myself some fucking Aaron Sorkin.
It's too rah. Like it's too. I watched 2 episodes and I couldn't honestly, Case. I couldn't finish it. He's like, what happened to our morals in this business? I'm like, oh my god. Like,
And my
couldn't
problem with
deal
it's
with it.
really easy to tell the news, the news industry what to do, like 18 months out. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It was just a little too much. Like what I really would like to revisit, and it's not streaming anywhere, is Studio 60. Like that's the one I really want to
Or
watch. I watched
Homicide,
Sports Night.
Life on the Street.
Well, Homicide isn't.
You have to go to the
streaming either.
library and rent the VHS or DVD copies of that because it's not streaming anywhere.
That's
I
weird.
have the first season on DVD, but I don't have a DVD player. You know,
And,
it's like
and AO Despair will not answer my question every time I tweet at it. When are we getting Homicide streaming?
you know what?
Yeah.
We have to start tweeting about it. It's Justin Fenton, and then have Justin
Yeah.
Fenton tell his buddy Davey Simon
Yeah.
to
That's AO
speaking
Despair.
of New York humor. Oh, is that well? Whatever.
Yeah.
Did
we
you
got
see-
we got to go one underneath.
Did you see someone on Twitter that was like at replying to some comment that Dave Simon made? It was like, "Have you seen The Wire?" And then like goes on to explain The Wire, and then David Simon just is
I
like,
wrote it.
seriously.
Yeah. David Simon, his Twitter is great because he will just like retweet somebody that criticizes him, calls them like a fuckwit, something, something, and blocks them immediately. It's such an epic, fun thing to
Yeah,
watch.
but he goes after bots though. Like he'll go after
That is
some
also true.
like I'm like what is like I had to get his portrait for the Guardian, and I was the writer got there first, and I went to his house, and this part of the house is being interviewed in. The sunlight's coming through this like skylight. We're on the ground floor, and he's bald, right? And I come in and they're right, and I'm right. They're doing the interview, and the door's unlocked. So I come in, and he's like Kurtz, right? Like he's bald. He's like, yeah,
Marlon Brando, everybody.
the Kurtz from Apocalypse Now, and he's like the state of cinema, and he like goes into this whole thing. I'm like, I told my writer, I was like, God, I was like walking into like the Kurtz scene. He's like, oh, may I use that? I'm like, you can use it, rights free. But it was like coming into like Marlon Brando as Kurtz. It was really funny. So
You don't get your writers to feed you like $50 when you give them a line like that.
no. Sorry, I never thought about it, but now I might start.
At one point,
Honestly,
$50 a
you're
line.
doing the work for them.
$50
we
a
were
line.
workshopping a bit on this show, maybe What If, but CTB edition, and the What If was what if David Simon bought beef jerky from Evan the Mayor when he was vending at the farmer's market. It spun off into some weird, wild stuff about Casey being molested.
It ends up with
Somehow.
Casey having to spend a night with David Simon, just for
Right.
reasons. Which
Purposes.
you
You
bring
can
up
find
what
us
if.
in the Discord channel.
Right. All this and more in our texts. You bring up what if, and I'm glad we have Joe on the show.
Oh, there you go.
You watch What If?
I don't watch that nerd shit. What are you talking about, man? I watch football.
You don't watch it, you live it, I guess.
No, I haven't seen the finale yet. I watched the Ultron episode, but I haven't seen the finale.
Either way, without seeing the finale, how do you feel about the season?
I was holding out for Pimp Conan, like in the comic books, but didn't get it. Maybe next time.
That's one of those issues that I just buy whenever I see it. So I have like 6 or 7
So
copies of this.
again, we're speaking our own
Conan.
language. So there's a very infamous issue of the Marvel series What If, and it was what if Conan was transported to our world, right? I think it was.
Well,
called,
what if Conan walked the earth of today? I believe it's
Yeah.
called.
and he's a pimp with like 2 leopards, and
Is
he's
this
got
pre-Giuliani
this
Times
awesome-
Square that he's walking around in?
Oh yeah, it's dirty. It's yeah. And then there's one like, what if Thor lived in the Hyborian age? Thor gets transported back to like Conan times,
Oh,
and
that's
he
fun.
and Conan are just buddies. Oh man, Conan what ifs were the best what ifs. There's a what if Spider, or there's like a Marvel team up Spider-Man Red Sonja. That's really good. Like I love shout out to fucking Marvel Conan shit. I've been buying that stuff up whenever I can find it for years. I love it.
What if
I'm
what
a
if
big fan.
Galactus had a disco dancing herald and they fell in love?
Oh,
Pretty close to what happened. Why can't you?
I think. Go.
You can't copy images on here, can you?
You could do a share screen. Wait, what are you trying to copy?
No, I was gonna put it in the chat. That's all. Here, I'll put
Oh.
it here. I'll put the link in.
I mean,
Casey, are
just
you looking at a
because my
Gawker
room
list
is
of the
what
most?
it is.
It's a cracked art. It's a
Ah.
cracked article with like the 4 like what the hell are these what if episodes? The number one is what if 90s Marvel just stopped trying to make what ifs any good?
Oh yeah, okay. I'm looking at
No, they
Conan as a pimp. It is very 70s. I'll overlay that over the video for YouTube.
well, this volume doesn't seem to have any of the goofy ones.
But you gotta have to hold it in front
What
of your
if
chest.
Spider-Man's clone had? What if Spider-Man's clone had lived? He did.
He did.
He did. It was a whole thing. What if Wolverine had killed the Hulk? I see, and so Joe. That's my like big problem with like this. What if is that like in the MCU, there ain't enough fun shit to like talk about. Like you know, you
thing,
can't
'cause they
like
don't have,
Wolverine.
You know, and everything has to go through Disney. So you got Mickey Mouse, like, you know, get that shit out of here. Fuck off. You know, like, yeah, they
what you
can't. Right. They don't own Conan, right? They don't publish. They can't. You know, they can't do any of this stuff anymore. You know,
Marvel has Conan again.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah, Marvel.
Not for the
Marvel's
not for the
Conan.
cinematic universe.
Oh,
does it?
exactly, and right, and that's a big problem.
Well, that's what I
Like,
mean. They don't
you know,
have enough stuff, really. Believe
Wait,
it or not.
I thought they had everybody but like Spider-Man at this point.
Well, I mean, they might. You know, Ditko. We need to talk about that, Brian.
Oh yeah, I have a big problem with the way, and this is going to sound insane. So, Steve Ditko's, I think, brother has sued Marvel Comics for copyright shit for Spider-Man, and you know, dumb bullshit. Like basically, it's just the legal means that he has to say, "Hey, I kind of want to renegotiate whatever we're getting." You know, this shit happens, but like at the same time, the fucking woke journalistic comic blogs and shit, they're like, Marvel sues Steve Ditko's heirs over copyright. I'm like,
No, but
that's not what happened.
That's not it. I mean, the basically the rights to Spider-Man are going to revert back to the family. It's not a copyright thing. It has to do with It has to do with the rights of the character, and the family can yank the. Basically, what's going to happen is, but Sony can lose it. See, so Disney can just back that mouse truck up full of like Disney coin and dump it on the family.
Pass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Sony can lose it. You know, which I think maybe what Marvel is counting on, what Disney's counting on. Anyway, we're supposed to talk about horror movies, right? This
I know.
Fingers crossed for
the
everybody.
Joe and Brian show about comics, and you know, Casey and Evan are falling asleep over there.
So,
I'm barely standing.
So something interesting I found out earlier today. Speaking of horror movies, the new Jason movie apparently is going to be streaming on Peacock. The same day as it drops in theaters.
Michael Myers.
October
You mean Michael Myers.
15th.
Oh, Halloween
Yeah,
Kills.
you mean Halloween?
What did I say?
Yeah,
You said
not
Jason.
Jason.
Oh, Halloween
No,
Kills
well,
on
no.
October 15th.
We'll
That's
fix it in
interesting.
post.
Because speaking of Jason, we're not going to see a Friday the 13th probably again in our lifetime. Because
what?
because the original
Oh,
screenwriter
I thought you meant today.
Of Friday the 13th just won a huge court case he's been fighting for like 20 years.
He owns it now.
Yes, and he never wanted to have an adult Jason.
Oh,
So he's
Wait,
probably going to keep the rights, and you're not going to see a new Friday the 13th movie for pretty much ever.
but I need
saw
Freddy
this.
versus
He's-
Jason too.
No. I saw this. He was like, "Why did you make the victim the bad guy? I don't understand." Like
Right.
he died. He drowns. Like
Yeah.
his mother was taking revenge. That kid drowns. Like, why is he the bad guy?
Yeah, he
And
never wanted. That was supposed to be a dream sequence at the end of the first one, and you know they wanted to make it a franchise, but no. But a judge ruled in his favor. He gets the rights to the first script back. He doesn't. It's so weird. So he doesn't have the rights to the hockey mask or the sack or anything, but he has the rights to the character because the character is in the first movie at the very end. So they could have a character like your background, but they wouldn't be able to call him Jason. They'd have just not use his name.
It would basically be like Never Say Never Again. You know, speaking of another franchise that is
Because you could say James Bond, you just couldn't have the music, right? You because then you had other characters. You had it's not like that at all, because that was a right sharing issue, right? Because he co-wrote Thunderball. So McCarthy got the rights to all the Thunderball stuff, but he couldn't use the theme and he couldn't use the opening credits.
So he could use like Spectre and Nuclear. That's why Never Say Never Again is a Thunderball remake.
Well, that's the last time, right? But that's the last time because he owned Blofeld, which is why we didn't get Blofeld until Daniel Craig, because he owned the rights to it, and they bought it back.
Have you been to the movie theater yet? I went to see Shang-Chi. If I had to guess, I'm going back.
I did. I went to see Shang-Chi at the movie theater.
Let's all go see James Bond.
I would love to. What are you doing?
Well, I wanted to go see Venom, because apparently this post-credit sequence is supposed to be great. I don't want to just read about it. I want to see it.
Well, I've already read about it.
Oh, is it worth going to see it for it, or is it pretty major?
I don't know, man.
On HBO Max.
Don't tell me. I don't want to hear it.
I won't spoil it, but it's major.
Okay,
but it's also major that I could tell you in one sentence, and then you'd be like, okay.
Of course. I mean, it's a post-credit sequence. It's not a new movie. I mean, I know.
If you literally don't know about it, then I guess go see Venom 2. Everyone says it sucks, but then oh man, but
not
like
really.
man,
not everybody said it sucked. I mean, it's a Venom and it's a Venom and Carnage are like early 2000s, 90s characters anyway. That whole era sucked. So
you know what Venom makes me want to do? I would like to watch that movie Upgrade, because I heard that one's better.
It's a good movie.
Because it's kind of got like that guy who looks like Tom Hardy, and he's got like a Venom.
Do you even watch comic book movies, Evan? How can you say it's better? You don't even know what we're talking about, Kay.
Only when I have to, as required by this podcast.
I hope that's some kind of magical xylophone.
And that all makes me a little angry. Makes me a little venti. A little pissed off.
What's going?
Makes me want to go right ahead and tell everyone to shut up. All right, it is approaching the end of the show, in which we give the opposite of that props, aka shut ups, to persons, places, and things that are lowering our quality of life and generally not making it fun. I have a shut up that is to finding out that some of your friends, close friends, that you've known for a really long time are anti-vaxxers. Yikes. Sucks. It's disappointing.
Is this a joint friend of ours?
Yes, it is. I learned about it today.
I was wondering when you were going to find out.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen them in a long time, and I'm saddened by this news. What are you going to do? All right, who else has one?
I'm busy trying to figure out who it is, Evan.
After the show.
It's Brian.
Fuck that shit.
It's Brian.
Brian used a glitch in his system to get that vax way sooner than he should have. Thank you very much.
Just like
you mean
use
the
the glitch in the
sign-up sheet?
system.
Well, I just wasn't supposed to sign up. You know what? Hey, why the fuck can't I just drive straight down Hartford Road yet? Shut up.
I don't know the answer to that.
November.
Okay, It's November after 7 years of this or whatever. 3 years of this.
4 years, but they called it. They said it's going to be it's the bridge job, so it's cool.
It's like
calm down, Rogan. Don't worry about it. Don't Hawk out over there. It's cool.
It took forever to get to your house today. It was miserable. Went to the comic book store. Drove down to your house. It took a fucking hour. I hated it. Maybe it was a half hour. 45 minutes. No, it was an hour.
Are you back at the comic book store?
No, I had to buy my stuff.
Oh, okay.
Casey, what do you got?
Shut up to not being able to find corn dogs on short notice when you've got a 3-year-old that really wants corn dogs and won't take no for an answer.
Which is ironic because you are descended from carnies. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. Small hands. Smell of cabbage. Mr. Joe, what do you got for us?
Let's see. What do I want people to shut up about? Man. There's so much being on Twitter, you know.
Yeah, maybe you should just not be on Twitter as much. It's bad.
No, I have a Baltimore list, but no,
Okay.
I think overall people should shut up about people like hating on Facebook and then hopping right back on as soon as
Right.
as soon as it goes back
The
up.
instant it came back up.
Yeah, the incident came back up. Like people are still lingering. Like I was making jokes about it, but I never said like you shouldn't be on there. Like shut up. This is a blanket shut up to finger waggers. All right, wag your finger somewhere else. How about that? Yes,
now that we're back on Facebook, I hope just everybody recognizes how nice it was to like not be on it for that 6 hours. Like
exactly.
Brian, you don't want none of that.
You don't want none of that.
Perfect. That has been shut ups. Wait, hold up. Wait, what? Go. I was about to make the sound.
I was just saying, there's a piece of me that feels like the finger waggers and the anti-vaxxers might overlap in a Venn diagram, and I'm super excited. Let's go.
All right.
And I'm gonna give a big shout out before we go to Brian's Coke dealer because man, he hooked you up. Anyway.
I'm just
joking. I'm just
very
joking.
drunk tonight.
I'm just joking.
Okay.
All right, Joe, give us one more plug for your book and
The
where we can
opinions of
find
this
you
guest do
online.
not reflect the opinions of the podcast.
Right.
Sorry. What?
I'm waiting for. I'll tell you right now. I'm waiting for Halloween. So like not tonight.
Well, enjoy your Halloween because November 1st, Mariah Carey creeps up. So,
Oh God.
All I want for Christmas is juice.
All right, Joe.
wait, you say all I want for Christmas is Jews? Are you anti-Semitic?
Juice.
Absolutely.
I am.
Jews?
I hate them.
Did he just say I hate Jews? Is that
I'm a self-hater.
That's all he wants for Christmas.
This Jew.
All right, Joe. The book Back of House is
back of
available on
house?
Blurb.
Yes.
And give us your social media details so that people can find you and follow you.
I'm on Instagram at hold on because I always let's see. My Instagram is I think it's JM Giordano photo. JMG Pics is my Twitter. And the Instagram is JM Giordano photo. There is a third book on the way, by the way, since you asked.
Sure.
I know.
It'll be out by the holidays. It is a very nice limited edition. This is limited edition catalog for the BMI show. It'll include the work in the show. It'll include work from West Virginia and the Ohio Valley and the UK. And it is limited edition, 100 copies signed and numbered, and available only at the Museum of Industry.
That is a very limited run.
It's a very limited run, but I hope to raise 10 grand for the museum. So
Wow.
I got corporate sponsorship to cover the printing. So it's not really self-published, which I'm very thankful for. And also
You have to go there to get it.
yes, that's the whole point is to go to the museum, see the show, get the catalog if you can afford it. It is, I mean,
Okay.
it is a limited, like it is for people who have the money for it to get it to help the museum. I'm not taking anything. It's 100% back to the museum. And each one is signed and numbered. And I think we're going to do an event around Thanksgiving. Also coming out in early November is a yet unnamed porter based on the Nighttime book I'm working with Checker
Oh,
Spot
nice.
Brewing.
That's awesome. Those guys are great.
Ooh.
Yes, you should have
We
Judy
will,
on sometime, man. She's great.
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to her about a couple of different things, but
Yeah.
always a good idea to interview somebody who's running a successful local business, regardless of where or what it is. So anyway, Joe,
We should
thanks a
go
lot.
there.
Yeah, like we could do a podcast there.
Yeah.
Joe, thanks so much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this was fun. A lot of fun. All right. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching, have a great day and a better tomorrow.